When we begin training in Brazilian Jiu Jitsu, there is no manual for how to do it in the most effective and time-efficient way possible. Newer students are simply told to just show up and work hard. This is an oversimplification for how to approach training, but there is some validity to it. Now, you obviously have to show up in order to improve, especially when you're a beginner. Everything is brand new to you, and there is a steep learning curve that needs to be endured. But a common mistake that newer people make is that they hit the ground running and they try to train as hard as they can from the very beginning. While this is admirable and hard work should be encouraged, it can quickly lead to somebody becoming injured. Your body is not used to the type of stress that Jiu-Jitsu puts on it. When you are a beginner, everything is new and exciting, so every day your mind is stimulated with all the possibilities and new ways of winning a fight that you were oblivious to before. The initial excitement can lead to training hard on the days that should likely have been used for recovery, which can also lead to injury. Being injured forces you to take time off the mats, and being on the mats is where the essential knowledge is to be gained. It is far better to think about how much training you can fit into a week, a month, or a year, compared to trying to fit a week's worth of training into a couple days. You will see vast improvements in your development as a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu practitioner if you are consistent over a long period of time compared to training intensely for a short period of time. The goal for the majority of your training should be to do just enough every day to elicit a response from your body in which it makes a small improvement for that one day. You should look to avoid training so much in one given day to the degree that it compromises you for the next 3 potentially. This is counterintuitive, as we live in a hyper-competitive world where the one who works the hardest each day is usually the one who is rewarded. But if you zoom out, person A, who cuts their training for the day at the 80% mark, has an added ability to show up tomorrow, where person B has nothing left in the tank after their 3rd session of the day and now requires a day or 2 of rest. The accumulated volume of showing up every single day and putting in an amount of work that is sustainable can have shocking results over a long period of time. An hour every day can add up to incredible amounts of time and experience when it is given the time that it needs. Approaching training with this type of mentality can have additional benefits as well, such as the reduced amount of time that you will need to spend on recovery. You will also likely not be as sore the following morning and be able to wake up feeling refreshed and ready to perform for this day's training. Being physically optimized will enable you to be more mentally prepared when you are at class and are taking in the small details of a technique, the small details that make up all the difference. From an objective perspective, would you improve more training Jiu-Jitsu for 2 hours a day, 3 days a week, or from training for only an hour a day, but training every single day? Mathematically, the difference is 53 additional 1-hour training sessions at the end of the year. The person that did a little bit less every day was actually able to do significantly more. The difference that it will make in terms of your Jiu-Jitsu IQ is very difficult to quantify, but I doubt that 53 additional training sessions a year would be a detriment to you, especially if this way of training is repeated over a lifetime and potentially a career. Don't obsess about getting as much as you can done in a single day, and instead focus on the long-term process of showing up and pursuing mastery in your chosen field. The real hardest worker in the room is the one who continues to show up day after day, year after year. With a consistency over intensity approach, you can set yourself up to build the identity of a professional who shows up every day and does their work. And over time, it will simply be a major part of your lifestyle, the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu lifestyle.